Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lundo Pop Sims, and I am here with y'all today building a little witch cottage. It is located currently in Potter's Play, but I intended it for Glimmerbrook, so it fits there as well on the smaller lot. You're more than welcome to move it there. Whenever I upload it in the gallery, it will still be in Potter's Play. That is where it was fit for. Obviously, you can move it wherever you want. So we're going in off of a picture that I found on Pinterest of a little ceramics project. And it was like one of those little things that you would put out in your yard for fairies to live in or whatever, like a little fairy garden or something like that. But I thought it would look really cool as a Sims build. So I decided to take that inspiration and run with it. And that I did, my friends. That I did. I ran so far. Here we are, and we just have this little cottage. I originally went with all this stone, but as you can see here, I didn't like it and I started changing it. I went with this custom content wood, and I thought it looked a little bit more like somebody had built it with their own two hands, and I thought that was a lot cooler. I was trying to go for something that was very, very like old-fashioned, something that would have been built a very, very, very long time ago, and I kind of wanted my witch that I was envisioning this build for to be living in Glimmerbrook and to have kind of like a bunch of trees around the lot. You could put it there, and I kind of envisioned it being hidden in the forest and really cool, like somebody had made it, you know, hand built the whole thing, and I just absolutely fell in love with this house. It's very small. It is considered a tiny home, so you get all those extra moodlets if you have the tiny living pack, and you can turn it into turn it on as a tiny home and change the lot descriptions, whatever that stuff is, the three little things that you can pick for the lot. You can do all that, so skill building and all that stuff. So yeah, here I'm just adding in a bunch of stuff to this little gazebo thing that I made for the roof on my patio, and I'm adding in a few custom content rocks that you saw, some mushrooms, and now we're into the windows. This is where I started struggling a lot with this build because the windows were super difficult. I wanted to have a broom at every window, or every large window, every large room would have a broom hanging out the window. So I kind of figured she would jump out the window, get on her broom, and fly off to the realm of magic or whatever. That's kind of what I was envisioning, like a little Harry Potter kind of feel to it. So that's what we're doing here. We're just throwing in some windows, and now we're going to move on to the front yard. I absolutely love landscaping. It's my most favorite part of The Sims. I use a lot of debug stuff. I love the debug menu. It's super cluttered, but honestly, it's the coolest part of building for me because the debug menu offers so many unique things. And of course, they're free, so that helps too. So yeah, here I'm adding a little magical, mythical tree. I don't end up leaving there because I don't like it in the end, and it doesn't, when you go in the backyard, the tree doesn't disappear. So it's just kind of there all the time. So gameplay is really hard in the backyard if you have that tree in it. So I do move it to the back. And then I have these purple plants. They're like my absolute favorite thing in the entire world. They're like those giant rubber plants that you can find at like Home Depot or whatever. I love them. And here we're adding in some alien flora from Get to Work. It's my favorite. I have a lot of favorites, obviously, but I love pink and purples and blues. They're my favorite colors. And I thought that the people who lived here, the witches that lived here, would have like really flourishing flora in the backyard, something really magical and mystical looking. That way they could kind of maybe have worked on it with their magic, and they're growing these strange plants. I don't know, but that's just kind of where I was going with the whole backyard theme and everything like that. I threw in some of these debug cactus. I just love cactus. I live in Texas, so cactus is like, you know, a normal thing to see around. So I do like cactus a lot. I think they're really beautiful. And then I added in some cute little mushrooms. I just wanted the backyard to look very magic, like something that they would really enjoy. And I know that if I was a magical sim, I definitely would want all this really cool stuff in my backyard. I love backyards, and I can't wait. Like, my boyfriend and I are going to be moving into a house soon, and we're going to have a big backyard. So I'm super excited because I've been living in an apartment for the last 6 years, and I'm just over it. So yeah, here I added some glowing orbs coming out of the fireplace. I thought that was a really neat little touch to it. I love the fact that Debug has stuff like that. I think it's so cool. I actually stumbled upon it. I didn't even mean to use it, but then I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute here. So it looks like they're doing magic outside of their house because I put one of those magic, the Realm of Magic fireplaces in there. Oh my goodness. I just love it. I think it all came together so well, and I absolutely love this build. It's probably one of my favorites that I've ever done. I mean, I've built quite a lot. I'm starting my YouTube channel because I have so much builds and so much content already made, and so I was kind of waiting to start my YouTube channel until I had a lot of content created. So y'all will be seeing a lot of builds on this channel. I do love building, and also gameplay. I like to have my fair share of gameplay as well. So I'm kind of like an all-around type of person. I like playing, I like building, I like landscaping, I kind of like everything. Because it's a tiny home, have to use ladders to get everywhere, which is fine, but it made a lot of things more difficult because the ladders were glitchy, or they didn't like working certain places, or my sim couldn't use them. So when I went in to change everything to figure if it was, you know, playable by your sims and stuff like that, I kind of had to move things around. So it's not exactly the way that it is in this build. It's almost the exact same, but there's a few things that I did have to change. So here I'm just adding in the ladder. There's a ladder on the first floor, ladder on the second floor. So there's 2 ladders in the house for her to get everywhere. This is going to be her bedroom and her bathroom that we're in right now. And yeah, so I'm kind of just moving things around right now, making the walls bigger or smaller or whatever, because it's really hard to make it playable, make everything fit with all the rooms having been so tiny. But it still qualifies for a tiny home, so don't worry about that. I did not make it so big that it couldn't fit. Here I'm using custom content wallpaper. I'll also link that below. Everything that I use is TS4 Sevrinka off of the Sims resource. It's my most favorite place to go. I literally pay every month to shop there. I love all of the stuff that they have there, and that's where I get all of my custom content. So literally anything you see here, from the plants, the wallpaper, everything like that, 99% of it is Sevrinka TS4 off of the Sims resource, and I will link that below. But here we're moving on to a little roof piece that I put in so that they could have a little sunroof, and I had to move some things around, and I felt that they would have these lightning rods on top of the roof because maybe they would be like a little bit what's it called, like superstitious, you know, like they don't want to get struck by lightning, so they have lightning rods. So I added some lightning rods. I thought that was kind of cute. And here I'm doing the bedroom and the bathroom. That room you just saw upstairs was the green room, and we'll tour it again at the end of this speed build. But yeah, I'm moving the walls around a little bit more here because I needed the roof pieces to work a little bit more cohesively, and they were not. So I fixed that a little bit, and I'm just kind of doing some final touches on this guy. He is almost done, or she, or they. But I was really proud of this build, and like I would say 90% of the stuff in here is custom content, but when I upload it again to the gallery, I will change all of that and try my hardest to make it base game so that everybody can download it. I know that it's really hard to play all these games when you don't have all the packs, and I'm really fortunate to be able to afford all of the packs. So I'll try my hardest to make a base game version of this and upload it to my gallery, because I know 1, people on the console can't play with the custom content, and 2, people can't afford you know, all the packs. So I understand that, and I will link all the custom content below so you can download it and you don't have to pay for it and all that kind of good stuff. So here I'm just adding in some Realm of Magic bathroom stuff and some Vampire Pack bathroom stuff. I love the 2 packs. They're my most favorite. I'm really big into mythical stuff. Like in The Sims 3, I loved all the different variations of things that we got to play with there. I do love The Sims 4 just because the graphics are so amazing. And I have a really crappy Mac. An old 2016 iMac that I'm playing on. I'm soon upgrading to a PC, but for now, this is what we're working with, so it's a little bit laggy. It's not as good as everybody else's quality of videoing, and that will be fixed soon. And then we're moving on to the kitchen. Now, the kitchen was a hot mess, and it took me years. It felt like it almost took me 3.5 hours to build this little tiny house, which is kind of understandable because the backyard is so busy and all that stuff, but this kitchen literally took me 45 minutes in and of itself. I could not decide which way I wanted it laid out. I couldn't decide anything. When we got into the interior, I just struggled so much with the first floor. I don't know what the deal was. But this red shelf that you're seeing me use here for the little wands and the wand holders, that is an OMSP shelf from the Sims resource as well. You can also just Google OMSP shelf and it will come up and you can download that. It is custom content, but it is amazing because you can literally use it anywhere, and it will allow you to put any of the objects the exact height of whatever you're putting it on. So like a shelf or whatever. It's so nice. I love it. I use it all the time. And I love cluttering countertops. I love cluttering. You know, I'm just a cluttery person. Like if you ever came into my house, you would see that. I like to collect things. I'm just like a very artistic and creative sim myself, so I do like to have clutter everywhere. So here we're kind of moving on to the living room. I didn't give up on the kitchen yet. Don't you worry, we will be coming back to the kitchen. I'm struggling here to find out how I want to piece everything together and kind of how I want to do this tiny little living room that I have. I also wanted to have a cat. And I wanted to have a black cat for my witch. So I struggled with that a little bit too as well, because I really wanted to have like 3 ideally, but that did not work out for me. I could only end up fitting 1 cat in here because I struggled so hard to put everything together. It did not fit in this tiny house. So yeah, we're moving here. This is the fireplace. I'm just cluttering it up. And oh yes, here we go. We're moving back into the kitchen. So the kitchen, again, was a struggle for me, but it did come together in the end. I like to use this really pretty bronze stuff, or whatever color that is. I just absolutely love it. It's almost like a rose gold, but it's not. It's like bronze or copper. I think the copper appliances are beautiful. The copper dishes hanging from the thing are beautiful. I just love that color copper. So here I'm back up in the green room, and I'm just kind of going through and putting in some plants and some cool stuff like that. So I added a lot of really cool plants from the debug menu, like the death flower. There's some chamomile and some other stuff like that. So I just thought it was really cool and something that you would want to have in your build. Whenever you bring your Sims here, you can just have them immediately plant it and the plants will grow. I already tried it, so it works. So yeah, and here we're in the backyard, and I'm putting a bunch of plants down like I was saying. I kind of got stuck here figuring out where I wanted to lay out the plants, because I didn't want the whole focus of the backyard to be just the plants in the planters. But I put enough in for sure to get you some good gameplay. And here we're just adding in the final touches in the backyard, the lighting and all that stuff. Fixing the stairs a little bit and adding in some terrain paint. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of the build. There's not too much left. I threw some potions on top of the fridge right here for your witches to use. And I'm just throwing in some extra little details at the very end. I tried to put this cat tree all over the build and it didn't fit anywhere. So that's whenever I kind of realized that I was not going to be able to have a bunch of cats, because I could hardly even put the bed in here. And that bed does work, by the way. The cats will sleep on it. I hope that y'all enjoyed this build. I hope that y'all liked it. And I just can't wait to see what y'all think. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time. Bye guys.